Hello and what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel. You're watching Miguel EDC, the channel where we talk everything EDC gear here. And today we're checking out another Cavol knife here in the channel. I'm excited for this one. It looks like it is called the Kobra with the K. Kobra White SW for outdoors, everyday, and tactics. S90V and titanium. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get in here. They always have the shipping containers looking boxes, which I think are pretty neat. And of course, I'll have this knife and every other knife linked down below so you guys can check out prices, availability, and variants. Here we go. Oh man, so this yeah, it's gonna be an epic one, guys. I hope you guys are ready. Here we go. First of all, it looks like we're looking at some sort of karambit here in a way, right? We got the index finger ring right there, right? Could also be a pinky ring, right, depending on the grip scenario. It seems like this one will be a karambit, or at least it has the outline of what I would think a karambit typically would look like. And right away, my attention is drawn to the titanium here. They have this sort of milling going on. It looks like ripple effects on water or something. Like the middle of the titanium is plain, but as you go towards the edges, then you start seeing these sort of waves that actually look really good as you turn the knife around. So that looks nice. The Cavol pivot logo is always a cool one right there. Check that out. Is it going to be a plunge lock, button lock? It feels like it's going to be a plunge lock, button lock. And we have kind of like an Emerson deployment style little unicorn horn right here for deployment. The idea there is that will catch in the seam of your pocket upon deployment and deploy the blade right away. So pocket clip right there should be titanium also. Right, there you go. Not, I want to say yes, they actually thought about that. So almost I was about to mess it up, and no, I actually saw this. So it looks like you can use a flathead driver. Actually, you can use a flathead driver for the pivot as well. So flathead and a flathead, and you can actually reverse that pocket clip to the other side. So lefties rejoice. Got a reversible pocket clip here. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and get this thing deployed. Almost missed the whole flipper top right there. Very minimal with some jimping. And let's go ahead and use that first. Bam, right, there it is. So it definitely has karambit aesthetics, but it doesn't have a karambit geometry, if you ask me. So still sort of like a folder, if you would. When I think of a karambit, right, this is what comes to mind, right? Having a hawksbill style geometry, something like this, right? Like the Reate EXO-K here, right? Which has been, I featured this one in the channel before multiple times. So having this geometry right here, right? This is what a karambit, right, is in a nutshell. And this is a pretty epic one, right? The way it folds and everything, right? So definitely check this one out if you haven't already. The Reate EXO-K. I have an unboxing overview video going over all the details on it. But yeah, this one doesn't have that geometry. It basically has a typical knife geometry. If you hide the finger ring back here, right, and you just look at it like that, that looks like a folder to me, right? Regular folding knife. So with that in mind, we have a very interesting, what are we calling this, tanto blade with a dual flat grind, it looks like. A little flat grind here, flat grind right there. Stonewashed finish on that S90V steel. Future me, right, looked up that HRC, put it on the screen. For all my HRC people out there, can I actually deploy off of that unicorn horn right there? The answer is yes. All right, it's actually pretty well toned, like very smooth on the drop and everything. Of course, I can use the button itself. So yeah, it is a plunge lock, button lock in the traditional sense, and that cylinder right there is under tension, and so it's gonna lock the blade here when open and also when closed. You know, we don't have a detent here, so this kind of works as a detent. While we're here, check out the milling on the inside. We do have some weight reduction going on via some good milling happening there on the inside of the scales. And we have this back spacer, which is also part of the ring, the ring itself. So that's interesting. Some spots here for what looks to be a tritium in, you know, slots. If you wanted to put some iridium on these, you probably could, right? I've been seeing that on knives more and more now that iridium is more popular, or some sort of glow in the dark solution you can put back there. Right? It's actually slotted and cut out on both sides, so that's neat. So as far as deployment, right, we have the button itself. We could use this section right here. You can also reverse flick off of that. It's kind of like a thumb disc in a way. Kind of feels like thumb disc vibes, but the idea is you have this in the pocket, right? The blade is facing the seam of your jeans or whatever. So as you take the knife out, if you pull it out like this, right? Picture my finger being the seam of the pocket. It catches right here and it automatically opens the knife as you take it out. So kind of like an Emerson knife deployment, if you ever seen some of those. That's the idea there. So I'm gonna say another cool thing too is like, look at how they cut out this whole portion right here into the ring for the blade, right? So actually the blade falls right in there, which is pretty cool, right? It's all well machined into the ring. You don't see it obviously on this side, but it's nice and cut out there. So a little bit of attention to detail, right? Obviously. And yeah, so I'm thinking the grip, there we go. The grip will be something like this. If I want to do the regular grip, put my pinky in the hole, right? Ring finger, middle, and index finger all on the handle. With my average size hands, I'm actually able to get a full purchase, right? The thumb ramp, or you know, whatever you want to call this, it's actually perfect for my thumb as well. So that also feels good. The ergos feel really good. I only feel the pocket clip, feel that build a tad bit. So I'm gonna give it like a 9 out of 10 right there. But it is reversible, right, for lefties. So if I were doing the same thing on my left hand, then it would look something like this, right? So putting my either pinky on the ring, or I think the other one is if you put your index finger in there, then it will look something like this. If you're doing some Friday night gas station fighting grip, fighting for your Slurpee, if you're Kevin, right, there you go. And there's even like that jimping on the ring itself that helps with your thumb. It's a little bit small for me, right? So like I can't necessarily fit my whole index finger, right? So I don't have big hands or anything. So maybe more so for your pinky, I think, than your index finger, but you get the idea, right? So let's go ahead and see what this S90V is capable of doing. Got a piece of paper here, right, from a textbook. There we go. In case you're wondering, yes, that other flat grind also cuts, but you're basically dealing here with about like 1.5 inches or so of this flat portion, and you got this other portion in the front right there. So I mean, overall it's a pretty small blade compared to the handle, so something could be said about the handle to blade ratio here, right, if anything. But I think it was mostly intentional, and I'm pretty sure the handle only looks bigger because of the ring portion. If that wasn't there, then it would be maybe a little bit more proportionate, I think, at least visually anyway. Not that it takes anything away from the functionality of the knife. I got a regular good old piece of cardboard right here, single wall, cutting at a diagonal angle. It's gonna look like this. All right, let me turn it here. There we go. I want to make sure I don't sink the corner there for the punch grind. Oh yeah, cutting through that cardboard there pretty effortlessly. And again, we don't have a ton of cutting path on the smaller side of things, but it definitely performs with that flat grind. Very, very slight. So you guys be the judge there on a scale from 1 through 10, right? Let me know, right? Rate that factory edge, 10 being the sharpest. You guys let me know in the comments. Some quick size comparisons here to give you a ballpark, right? The only karambit I have on hand here is my own, right? The Reate EXO-K. So again, just gonna actually compare and contrast. So again, I keep thinking this is not a karambit, kind of gives me more folding knives with a finger ring in the back than anything. So check that out. You can also see the whole difference, right? This is why this one fits me well on my index and pinky alike, whereas this one only fits me really good on my pinky, but not my index finger so much. Now next to some other folders here in the channel here for reference, right, you can see it's actually a little bit on the shorter side of things, right, next to the MSI here from Microtech, the Stitch from Microtech as well. Those are going to be larger knives, no doubt. Here's the Spyderco PM2 and the Para 3. So it's actually a little bit shorter than the Para 3, obviously shorter than the PM2. Demko AD 20.5 and the Kunwu Chad. Right, so yeah, definitely a little bit shorter than those as well. And last but not least, there's the Civivi Vision FG and the Kizer Militaw. All right, so check those out. Highly recommendable knives. By the way, links to all these in the description and pinned comments if you guys want to check out prices, availability, and variants. Hopefully you own, right, some of these knives yourself. Will give you a ballpark idea where this one lands. But man, so far, I got to tell you, making a great first impression here in the channel, no doubt. I'm absolutely, you know, digging the multiple deployment options. Definitely a very interesting one, right? I want to say, I'm not sure if this one is a Tiwa's design or not. So future me, slap that on the screen. Who's the actual designer on this one? Feels pretty lightweight. It feels good on hand. And I mean, if you have plenty of folders in your collection, you're looking for something unique and different, especially with this pinky ring situation right here, this one will definitely scratch that itch. So far, again, this is just an unboxing raw first impressions video. All links to all these in the description and pinned comments if you guys want to check those prices, availability, and variants. Guys, let me know your thoughts on this one. What do you like about it? What do you love about it? Is there anything you dislike about this knife? Let's go ahead and hang out in the comment section down below. Hope you guys really enjoyed this one. If you made it to the end, you're the real MVP. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Either this one or this one. Peace.